Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can integrate foundation models from iOS 26, specifically the language session model in Expo React Native for iOS. So let's get started. So in case if you are not aware what foundation models are, they are basically large language models which are deployed on the on your mobile device, so you don't require any internet connections to communicate with them. Now keep in mind, these large language models, given that they are deployed on the device, they don't have world knowledge, but they are specific to enhance your use case. Like suppose I'm asking it what places should I visit in Australia, those kind of things. If you want the latest news which is happening in the world, this particular foundation model will be of no use for you, because in that case you will have to use server side backend large language models. These are device specific, so they are not updated as regularly as large language models which are hosted on the backend. So let's get started. So first, this is just a cheat sheet to create a Expo React Native project. So first you can just go to this particular URL over here, and from this you can use whatever template you feel like. I'm using this blank TypeScript template. So to create a Expo React Native project, you just have to run this particular command over here. So it will ask you for your application name, so just give an application name. Now at the time of me recording this video, there is no third-party library available for this, so we need to install some native setup as well. So for that you need to go to this particular URL. So I'll just open it inside a new tab. So here you will have to select iOS device. Here you need to select development build. Then I'm not using EAS, so I have disabled it completely. Then you need to install Xcode. Now here comes the tricky part. So you need to have Xcode 26 installed to use the foundation models. So this is very important. Xcode 26 is necessary for using the foundation models. Now for using the foundation models, it also requires a device which has Apple Intelligence enabled. Unfortunately, I don't have a real device with Apple Intelligence enabled. So what you can do is you just have to update your macOS to macOS Tahoe or macOS 26 at the time of me recording this video, which is the latest. And with the help of that, then you can run it on simulator. If you are running macOS Sequoia or below version, you won't be able to use it on the simulator. It's very necessary you need to use macOS 26, or you will require if you are on macOS Sequoia, then you would require Xcode 26, but you will require a real device with Apple Intelligence enabled for this to work. Okay, so I have already installed Xcode command line tools as well. I have installed simulator. I have run this command as well. Then you need to cd to your Expo React Native project and run this particular command. Once you run this particular command, then you need to run this particular command. So this will create an iOS folder for you. So let me quickly show it to you. I have already created it. So here you can see it has created this iOS folder for me. Then once that is done, you need to open this particular URL over here. So this will actually create a module for you inside your application. So for that you just need to run this particular command over here. So it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name and everything. I have kept everything as default and just press enter 3 times. Once you have clicked on enter 3 times, then what you can do is you can just run this command, pod install -- project directory equal to iOS, because given that this is a separate iOS module, we need to install CocoaPods as well. Now at the time of me recording this video, CocoaPods are deprecated, but they are still present in Expo React Native project. In future they might decide to remove this step altogether, so it's better you follow the documentation. They might switch to Swift package manager as well. At the time they are still using CocoaPods, so I'm using CocoaPods. Okay, then what you need to do, then we can just close our cheat sheet. Okay, then I'll just show you guys the output first. So here if I just show it to you, here I'm asking which places to visit in India, reply only with places name. Okay, so I can just click on this button. Okay, so once I clicked on this button, it is an asynchronous operation, so it does take a bit of time. But here you can see it has listed down all the place which I should visit in India. Obviously if you press it again, the answer will be different every single time, or it could be same as well. So it completely depends on the foundation model. We can't really predict it. So yeah, this is how it works. So let's get started on how to achieve this. So first what you need to do, go to modules, my module src, go to my module.type.ts, and here okay, no changes here. So but here we are using this value thing which was present by default to send data from native iOS side to Expo React Native side. Then you go to my module.ts, and here as you can see I have added one method called ask, which takes your prompt and it is of type promise, but the return type will be sent with the help of this particular value. Okay, then you can just go to app.tsx first, and here you can just add all these imports. Then here I have one text element, text state, sorry, whatever answer we get. So here we are constantly listening for that, and once we get some value we just update this set text. Then here I have one button, and on press of it we just do my module does ask, and here you can pass whatever prompt you feel like is right for you. Okay, you can take a text input as well instead of hard coding this. And here we have another text element which displays whatever is the output from the model, LLM model, and these are all the styles for it. Okay, then you need to go to iOS my module.swift. Firstly you need to import this foundation model, and you need to add this particular annotation as well. Now this foundation model are only available from iOS 26 and above. Then you need to create this language model session, and here you need to create this system language model.default model as well. Now all this code is present by default, so I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all this code. Then here I have created our asynchronous function which is of type ask. Okay, then here we are checking the model availability. So in case the model is available, that means you have a device with Apple Intelligence, you are using iOS 26. Then we just do session.respond. okay, sorry, here I should not have asked something like this. I have hard coded it, sorry about that. Here it should be value. Okay, I'll quickly run it again just to prove it to you that this works. Maybe I'll ask something different, which places I should visit in Australia, just to prove to you. Sorry about this, because I copy pasted that code from the documentation from my native iOS application. That's why it got hard coded. Anyways, we'll run it again. Let's come back to our code in the meantime. So here we get the value right from our Expo React Native side. We pass it over here, and whatever value we get, we send it back to Expo React Native side over here. Then in case the model is unavailable, then we just say Apple Intelligence not enabled. In case it is model in case Apple Intelligence is not available, sorry, then we just say that. In case model is not ready, that means also mostly the user is not using iOS 26, so maybe you can send that. And for default use case, again I'm just saying model not ready. Okay, so here you can see our application is ready. So I'll just dismiss this. I'll just click on this button. Hopefully it should give us places to visit in Australia. So here you can see Sydney Opera House, again Melbourne. Yeah, I know this Melbourne, Hobart, so I don't know about the other places, but yeah, Melbourne, Hobart and Sydney Opera House are in Australia. All right, so yeah, this is done as well. Now the next important thing is very simple. You just need to click on this exe, go to your iOS folder, click on this .exe workspace twice, and it will open it for you inside Xcode. And here you need to click over here, go to general and go to minimum deployments, and here you need to update it to iOS 26. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.